Hello, hello. All right, so this is going to be a bonus general message, and I always start these out with something real that happened, usually an anecdote about my dog. And I took him on a walk somewhere today that I haven't taken him in a long time, and there's different routes that we can take, and it was just so cute because he remembers his favorite route. Let me tell you, it's been a long time since I've been out there, and so it was just really funny that he he's quite bossy. He plunks down and looks in the direction that he wants to go and looks back at me and all right, fine, we'll go to the left. But yeah, it was just cute. So I don't know if somebody is like, even after time has passed, if they remember just what direction to go, but we're going to start out with the map deck. So we have sad embrace and we have flying, and this is showing somebody like above and beyond the labyrinth, right? The labyrinth here is, it can represent somebody's mind getting just really bogged down, like really troubled in the mindset, and they're breaking free of it. This could have been someone that was really stuck for a period of time in sorrow, in grief, and they are finally setting themselves free. A labyrinth can also be the thing that we walk, because it gives us time to work through something. And then when we get to the middle of it, we've arrived, and maybe that's what has happened, is someone has arrived and they found their way back to themselves. They found their way back to their happier self. It's almost like somebody is de-aging here too, because we had card 45 and then we have card 20. This could be somebody who's all of a sudden they're feeling like, oh my gosh, I remember the direction now to take to get back to myself. And this feels really uplifting. This feels really much lighter, much brighter now that our character has reached this point. It was, especially with the labyrinth. The labyrinth is where sometimes we can get lost in it for a while, but it's like somebody's being found again. This is really nice, but they were definitely lost in sadness. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords definitely has found her true north, her sense of direction. She is back going the direction she's supposed to be going, and she knows it. This is all about truth. And truth is the true north, right? That's the Queen of Pentacles. So I think this is the same person. I think that this person has, if they ever lost their sense of personal value at any point in time, they've got it all back. They don't worry anymore. They feel like they've got a sense of a foundation under them. They know what their worth is now. This queen is not crying anymore. Remember, this could be a masculine just as easily as a feminine, but I'm going to start saying queen because that's what we've seen so far. We have a 9 of Wands. Yeah, this is like, she's back. She's feeling amazing. And of course, what happens anytime we're feeling amazing? Well, other people pick up on that vibe, and then other people want to be amazing too. This could be someone who is about to come out of the woodwork just when she's feeling good about herself. Tell me who that 9 of Wands is. 3 of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody that she terminated a relationship with, or they terminated a relationship with her. Page of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. I don't understand. They blocked her and have been watching her. And I don't want to sound creepy about that, but they ended something with her. They blocked her, locked her out, didn't want her to see their life, but couldn't stop staring in her direction. Tell me about that. 7 of Pentacles, Death card. I feel like this is the kind of person who runs away when they feel like they're okay. So that song, if Bubba can dance, I can too, is in my mind. It's an old country song, and it's really funny. It's really cute, but it's about this guy who goes home and learns all the steps, but never tells a soul, and then they just come back one night and they can dance with all the ladies, and they've got all the steps just right, and that's making the singer of the song want to do that too now, right? I almost feel like That's this character. They don't want anybody to know what they're working on, but they look to others for inspiration, particularly toward her for inspiration, but didn't let her know. And it's been a long time, but now they're thinking that they could come back in, and now they know all the right dance steps. Now they could come in and they could dance with her. The death card. Now this could all be transformed. It's like they think that they can come in and be heroic. So they must have felt like they disappointed her. What do they think that they caused her? Six of Wands. Boy, they may see this very differently than she does. They think that, ooh, I almost dropped that in my teacup. They think that she was, I'm going to say, better than them somehow, more successful than them somehow. Um, Somebody that she wouldn't have been proud of them because she's already, a Six of Wands. They saw her as, um, she was above me. She had way more confidence than I did. And it's interesting because there's this little goblin here. I think that they think she cut them off because she was so much more amazing than they were. But remember, we started out with her in a sad embrace and then finally getting out of that energy. Like she'd been sitting here kind of crying, hugging her own knees off by herself. Well, yeah, because they pretty much disappeared is what it looks like. How does she view what happened with them? Let's see her perspective. Whew. Justice and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. She says, how they treated me was so wrong. It was so messed up. They were there one day, we were moving towards something, and then they just disappeared like a puff of smoke in the wind. There was nothing. Everything they said, they didn't even backpedal on it. They literally just stopped. I always look at this as an abrupt change. The plans that we had, if they said, oh, they want to be with me, we have plans, we have like maybe this person was all about, we're going to do this, we're going to build a house together, we're going to get married, we're going to do blah, 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 blah. The investment that they were making just stopped cold turkey. It was completely over all of a sudden. So the way she sees it is it was just a massive, like, imbalance. Maybe they were a Libra, it doesn't have to be, but in her mind, how they treated her was not okay. Tower. Again, major, and because of the way they behaved, it created a massive upheaval for her. She may view them as somebody who is just a massive upheaval, unfairness that then really got in her head and made her very sad for a period of time and probably stuck in her mind for a while. And she's finally broken free of that. What does she think of them today then? Emperor sideways, 10 of Cups sideways. What's so interesting is that she says, just because they could have been doesn't mean that they are, doesn't mean that they ever would be. There's always a potential. Every time we meet somebody, they could be the love of our lives. They could choose to really mean all the words they say, or they can also be full of hot air. I don't know who they really were. They could have been all of it. They could have been everything if they had wanted to be all the things that they said. But in her mind, when she thinks of them today, it's like there was all the potential there. But she's not saying, oh, they were horrible. No. And she's also not saying, oh, I still believe that it's them and I can't wait to reunite. She's just saying they could have been everything to me. And I could have been everything to them, but all we got was the could have beens. I think that that's actually a really impressive way to look at something, because she's not turned anything into like, oh, this hideous villain. She's instead just like, life always could have been a lot of things, but in this lifetime, we make things what they're going to be by taking action. So could have, it's almost like, don't tell me maybes. I don't need to live in the maybes. Anything could have been, but the bottom line is that's not what it was. So she's not going down the road, though, of anger, hurt, recrimination, none of that. which I think it makes sense because she's come up as two queens, truthful, honest, and somebody who's feeling like she's got her feet under her and she has a lot of abundance and she feels pretty darn good about who she is right now, which is great. Okay, so let's go back over to them. So them with that 9 of Wands, 4 of Coins sideways. They want to reach out. Can I reach out? Should I reach out? Am I going to be allowed to reach out? They're still of they're not entirely sure. And even if this card were in the upright, they would have been unsure about, I'll reach out and say some things, but not others. And so the fact that they're just still sitting here going, I don't want to be in that 4 of Pentacles energy anymore, but I don't know how to put an end to it. Ace of Swords, 3 of Wands, the Sun. They keep thinking that somewhere in the upcoming future, they're going to, it's like they can picture the day that they'll be able to fully communicate with her and how great that's going to be. And there's going to be all of this wonderful future potential. But the getting from where they are now to this point seems to be, they don't have a game plan. They don't see the steps for that yet. They know that it's going to require action, but as far as them taking action, they're looking forward to how great it would be now that they feel like they can come in. Remember, Bubba can dance now. They can come in and dance. They feel like they got all the right steps, all the right moves now. She's not out of their reach now. They could be a partner to her now. Him, her, doesn't matter. Oh boy. Hold on, that's way too many. I'm only going to take the one that separated off, which is a 9 of Swords, and then whatever one landed on the floor here, which is a 4 of Swords. I'm not really surprised. By the way, the rest of them that popped out was like 16 cards, and they just fell in a clump. That's why I didn't take them. I only take poppers, not droppers, if that makes sense, especially when a whole chunk of cards just drops. For them to move forward and come toward her, yeah, it's really, the steps to take, they're scared to do it, but they're determined that they're going to. But they're so stressed out. They get so stressed out at the thought of it. And then they go back into try to calming themselves down. Let's change decks. Let's ask the universe for some guidance on this for them. Universe, what's your guidance for them? 6 of Swords in the reverse. I mean, the universe is flat out saying, well, on one hand, unless you're really ready to put things into action because you really have changed, then there's no point in doing it. On the other hand, sometimes the only way to get beyond something is to take action, because right now they're actually, even though they said, oh, I'm a 9 of Wands, I'm a wounded warrior, but I'm ready to come in and now I feel like I could be successful. And then they get right back into nervousness. The universe is like, well, you're not out of those troubled waters yet because you're not out of your nerves yet. So maybe you either have more work to do, or the universe is saying, as long as you don't take action, you basically remain right there in that 6 of Swords. Oh, wow. I'm a bad shuffler tonight. What did we get? I kind of just threw those, but I didn't mean to. We have a Temperance in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the reverse, 2 of Swords reverse. Serious? 8 of Cups reverse, 5 of Sacred Circles reverse. So the universe is being a little bit blunt with this person. They're saying, yeah, I know you're uneasy, you're unsteady. Look at, we got all reversals for this. That's crazy. Yeah, you're not feeling confident. I get it. You're not feeling balanced. I get it. But if you say that you know what you want and you want to go talk to this person, maybe the thing that's making you feel unbalanced is the fact that there's an action you want to take that you're not taking. And when you realize that, maybe that'll promote you to move forward. Because the big stress now is that I want to talk to her and I'm not. Before, the big stress was, I can't talk to her. I'm not on her level. And that doesn't mean that was ever true, right? It was just their perception. It's what made them run. It's what made them disappear. they weren't on her level, so they up and disappeared and caused her a lot of grief. She always believed that they had the potential to have been her partner, but they disappeared on her. Now here they are saying in the past, the problems, the obstacles were I didn't feel like I was enough. The universe is saying, well, now the big obstacle, the big fear is that you're scared, but your real stress is that she's not in your life and you want her in your life. So to correct that, don't you need to go talk to her? That's, it's almost like identify where the stress is really coming from and then alleviate that stress. It's not to force this person to move forward if they're not ready, but rather to ask the person, where is your concern? The only thing sometimes in life to do to get rid of the stress is to literally get rid of the stress. So if their big stress is I'm not talking to her, I want to talk to her, then the universe says go talk to her. That's your big stress. Take it off your plate by simply fixing it. Go talk to her. Are they gonna? Chariot. Ten of Swords. Hell yeah, they are. They're going to go ahead and put all those fears to rest. And this may come across as impulsive. They may suddenly go ahead and reach out. They may suddenly just go ahead and say, screw it. If I said that I feel good enough now, that I could now come toward her, that's it. I'm not going to be scared anymore. That's what the problem was initially when I disappeared, is that I didn't feel like I could walk in her world. Then I said, I feel like I can now. Then you know what? That's the me I need to be. I need to just step forward. Only an emperor or an empress rides in a chariot. And you notice she always was like, I always thought that they could have been my everything. I mean, that's who I thought they were. I thought that they could have been that. That's how she still views them even today. They have to be that to come toward her. And it looks like they are going to, simply because when you boil it down to where is the fear is I want to talk to her and I haven't talked to her yet and I'm scared to reach out to her. But that's where the stress is coming from. Then fix that stress by talking to her. See what happens. That's, I've got to say, that's pretty that's pretty brave talk. And I appreciate the fact that the universe is like trying to help this person like live their best life, reach out and do the thing that they most want in their lives. Pursue the thing that you most want. What may happen between these two then? We have got the Two of Cups sideways. We have the Three of Wands in the reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Well, what might happen here is that they may get to the point where they have a lot to talk about, a lot of things that are in question, because seeing each other again after a period of silence could be a little tentative, like, oh my gosh, are you my person? Am I your person? Like, how do we feel about each other? But it's something to be dealt with. Like, on one hand, they don't really want to wait forever to try to figure this out. And discussing how maybe we couldn't have been in union in the past. Now is the first time, because this would be now instead of in the future. It wasn't time. The Wheel of Fortune in the reverse says it wasn't the divine timing yet. No wonder, even if we felt like we could have been everything to each other, it wasn't the right time. It's only now that we can even talk about how it wasn't the right time. I mean, I would argue, why could they not have talked about it before? It could have saved a lot of heartbreak and painful feelings. So, why can't preschoolers always sing their ABCs? Because they haven't gotten to that point yet. They haven't learned them all. They can sing some of their ABCs, but then they'll mix them up sometimes, and then when they get into kindergarten, they become more proficient at it. It's almost like that. Like, sometimes we kind of know all the bits and pieces, but we're still mushing things together and it isn't working out just right. And We just need a little bit more time to develop. And once we've developed, now we can talk about how, oh yeah, I didn't used to be able to sing my ABCs right, but now I can. It's kind of like that. And I'm only using the ABCs as an example of like, like when are we not still learning? When are we not still going to feel insecure like kids that don't know anything? We got to learn from the ground up. I would just argue that in anything, it doesn't matter how old we are, there's always something that is going to make us feel like, geez, I feel so inadequate right now. And that feeling, I just think it's the same no matter what age we are. And it brings us into our inner child. Like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to say yet. I don't have it all straight in my head. I can't sing my ABCs perfectly. And then a little time passes and then we got it, and now we can admit I didn't know how to even say what I needed to say back then, that I was scared, that I wasn't ready. Justice. Now we can talk about why things happen the way they did. We can set things right. The things that were wrong, the things that were handled wrong can finally be set right. I think this is the first time these two could have ever really had this conversation. That's the truth of it. I think that's what this conversation is all about. So these two are going to be able to communicate. Remember at the beginning, I said my dog, I took him someplace I hadn't walked him in a long time, and there were multiple ways to go, but he remembered the way that I used to take him, and so he wanted to go that way. I feel like that's what this is. These two are finding their way back to each other because we just got the Ace of Swords, which is clarity and direction and truth and action taking. It's kind of a nice story on this one. This turned out really, really nice. I'm always a fan of, getting to that point where it's like, okay, even though it's worrisome, what's the truth of what it is I need to do? That's the thing I need to go ahead and do. The thing that will alleviate my greatest stress, which is I want to talk to her. So I have to get beyond my fear of talking to her and just go talk to her. That to me was a big takeaway message in this. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you as always for being here. I appreciate everybody. If you do enjoy my fictional storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. Lets me know you like the channel and want it to still be here. I'm a little bit still out of breath. I had a bad run with my asthma and I'm still kind of recuperating. Sometimes this happens and I just got to catch my breath for a day or two. So I'll still be a little bit wonky probably for the next day or so, but then we'll be back to our normal schedule. Thanks for being patient with me and I appreciate everybody. All right, bye.